What's up, you guys? It's Graham here. So today I'm going to be explaining why it's so important to be different, to stand out, and how that can help you beat the competition. And by the way, it totally doesn't matter what business you're in. I don't care if you're in real estate, if you're just starting out, if you want to make YouTube videos. Standing out and being different is probably one of the best things that you can do. And I think we as people, by the way, are just intrinsically afraid of being different because it puts us in the line of fire of criticism, of being shot down, having our feelings hurt. There's a lot of things that can happen if you're different. It's also very scary to go against societal norms of what's considered normal or what's considered average. If you want different results, you have to take different actions. If you're not satisfied with the result that you're getting right now, with the current things that you're doing, you need to do something different. And this is why doing something different is so important. It's very easy for people to go unrecognized and unnoticed, especially in the wide sea of the internet where millions of people are all competing for the same space. This is why it's so important to stand out, to be different. And here's how you stand out and be different. And by the way, these are all things that I've noticed. I think I've done a pretty good job so far of standing out, whether it's being an 18-year-old in real estate or a 20-something-year-old on YouTube giving free advice. Whatever I've done differently, I've gone a different path, and that's really worked in my favor, so these are things that I've noticed. So to start, this is how you can be different and how you can stand out. The first thing is to be memorable. Now, I'm not talking about wearing a bright pink suit to work every day, because that will be memorable, but it won't necessarily give people a positive impression about you. Now, to be memorable, you have to do things that people aren't doing. Now, the easiest way to go about doing that is just to add more value than everyone else. It doesn't need to be this brand new revolutionary concept of something that no one's ever heard of before. You don't need to do that. You don't need to reinvent the wheel either. If you see something that's working, if you see something that you resonate with, if you see something that you like and you find a weakness and you think, wait a second, this business is really great. I love what they're doing, but I think they could be doing something a little bit better. That is your opportunity just to do it yourself. For instance, on YouTube, if you see someone making YouTube videos and you're like, wow, I really like this YouTube channel, but this guy's a fucking douchebag. I hate this dude. I can do this way better. Go and do it better. Find their weaknesses and just improve on what they're already doing. That's the simplest way to stand out and add more value. That's the easiest way to get noticed as well. It also needs to be better, and by being better, again, adding more value, but it needs to be better. You need to go above and beyond what the other people are doing. Again, that's another easy way to get noticed. Offer better editing, better content, funnier content. It doesn't matter. You need to make it better than the other person. By making it better, you can also add more content. Keep in mind that ties into adding more value. Just by adding more value, you're automatically standing out, you're automatically different, and you're automatically capturing their audience and doing it way better. You also need to make sure you're amazing at what you do. You cannot half-ass it. You can never half-ass something where you're competing with somebody else. You will always lose. There will always be someone out competing you and doing better. So you need to make sure you're on your A game. You need to give it 100%. This isn't something that you can half-ass and just like do the bare minimum, be mediocre, be average. You really need to go above and beyond and do everything you can to make sure that your shit is better than their shit. You also need to do it differently by putting your own spin on things. You need to put your own personality in it, your own humor in it, your own way of doing things in it. That is such an important aspect that I feel like a lot of people also overlook. Because even with me, for example, someone could copy my channel exactly. They can offer the same advice as me. They could be the same age, same accomplishments, same everything. But I'm not worried about that. And the reason why is because they don't have the same personality that I do. And I totally don't mean to sound arrogant when I say that, but like maybe they're way better, maybe their shit's way better, maybe they're way funnier than me, maybe they're better looking than me, but that's kind of hard to believe. But you get my idea. They won't be able to copy me exactly. And that same thing applies with all of you. If you put your personality and your heart and soul into something, that definitely stands out. That's very hard for people to copy. So that's why you want to put your personality in it as much as you can, because that is the hardest thing to copy. You also need to take risks and do things that other people aren't necessarily doing. Take me, for example. In 2008, I started selling real estate when everyone else was leaving real estate because the market wasn't doing so well and it was starting to crash. 2011, 2012, I started buying rental properties when no one else was buying because everyone was worried about some shadow inventory about to come on the market and they thought the real estate market was done forever. That's when I was buying. Even YouTube, for example. YouTube is a highly saturated market, but for some reason or another, I was able to stand out in a sea of other competitors and businesses and everyone that wants your views. The reason I did that is because I did something different. I added more value than the other channels were able to offer. I did it for free, which is a lot different than what the other channels were doing. And I'm memorable because I'm in my 20s and not some boring ass dude in their 50s or 60s. I put my own spin on things. I said fuck. I said shit. I talked about I literally in my first video, I talked about making so much money I can make it rain at the strip club. Like that's like fucking stripper money. Like you see the guys like making it rain and shit like that. Like that's how I felt. That stupid, different, wacky shit that makes it memorable, it makes it authentic, makes it genuine, and that's my own personality on things. And that ties back again to doing more than the bare minimum. I mean, I definitely put a lot of time and effort into this YouTube channel, for instance. So everyone watching also, if you want to stand out, need to do above the bare minimum. And that also includes being authentic and being you. That doesn't include you faking trying to be somebody or you faking a personality. It includes you being 100% you and who you naturally are. I think it's something very hard to fake, and I think people can generally tell when someone's faking something, when they're not truly themselves. And I think it turns a lot of people off in general when they see that maybe something doesn't entirely add up. Maybe something just isn't quite what it seems, and something seems, I mean, whatever it is, you need to be 100% yourself, because I think a lot of people are able to subconsciously pick up on that. If you're not yourself, if you're trying to fake something, if you're trying to be someone else, I think people just naturally tend to pick up on that. And that's why it's so important. Just be yourself. And generally, people really envy people being themselves, I've noticed. Because for a lot of people, it's very difficult to be themselves. And they almost look up to somebody and envy them because they're like, fuck, I wish I could be myself. Ah, damn, like, look at this dude. He's putting it all on the line. He's not giving a fuck. That is something I like. That's what makes you stand out. And another thing I've noticed, if you're in a business and you start to see trends of a certain sort, definitely try to stay above the curve. For me, for example, I definitely see a huge market on YouTube for free information. My personal philosophy is that so many people on YouTube are all trying to sell you shit. They all have an ebook, they all have some bullshit coaching program, some mastermind group, whatever the fuck it is. They have some shit they want to sell you and make money off of. I'm doing something differently than all that. Just by doing something differently, adding more value, putting my own personal spin on things, being authentic, taking some risks. By doing all of that and also paying attention to what's going on YouTube, I was able to see a trend of free information is the best way to get noticed. And it's true. There's no sense trying to sell you anything because it's already on Google for free. So if you want to get noticed on YouTube, just give out information for free. And I feel like we all benefit from it. I mean, there's literally zero downside of giving out free information. Literally everyone likes free information. So like, if you know something, give out free information, just be different. So from my experience, everything I've just discussed has really helped me stand out and is exactly what I recommend for you guys. Again, it doesn't matter what business you're in, it doesn't matter how old you are, you really want to make an effort now to make sure you stand out, to make sure you're memorable, and this is exactly how I would go about doing it. So again, you guys, thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, feel free to add me on Instagram. I've started posting on Instagram, so like definitely add me there. Also feel free to add me on Snapchat. There's a lot of Snapchats, the usual shit. That's my spiel. Instagram, Snapchat, subscribe. Like, I feel like most of you, again, watching are subscribed. And yeah, thank you again for watching, and until next time.